Hello everyone, welcome back to Susie Saves. I'm Susie. I hope you all are having a fantastic Friday. I have some exciting news. This is a little more personal, but I've been wanting to get more personal in these videos, so I hope that's okay. I have been trying to give blood for no less than like 5 years, I think closer to 7 years. I think as soon as I turned 18, I was really interested in giving blood. Both my parents, my mom and my stepdad rather, are firefighter EMTs. So I've always kind of been around that stuff and I knew how important blood was, and I'm a healthy person able to give, so I was trying to give and give. Last week I went in to give blood and they couldn't do it. I've been told by the phlebotomist there that I just have very, how would you say, flat veins. They're very recessed, very deep, and so I've never had a successful blood draw. Last Wednesday I went in for a blood draw and they couldn't get it, and the lady said, if this is something that's really important to you, first off, this might be a sign that it's just not for you. But if it is something really important to you, technically we did not take any blood today, so you could come back as soon as you want to. I recommend waiting until the incision site has healed, so maybe next week coming in and trying again, which was yesterday. It's one of my New Year's resolutions this year was start early in the year and try to give blood. So I did. We set an appointment for yesterday, and I was successful at giving blood for the first time, which meant a lot to me. Not only has it been on my to-do list for ever, but I had also kind of given up on myself and been like, maybe my body's just bad. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be. But yesterday I came in and the phlebotomist said, wow, I don't feel anything. Your veins are very flat. But luckily for you, our manager is in today, and he's one of the most skillful people I know. So I'm going to have him come over and look at you. His name was Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. So Jeff came over and he looked at my one arm and he said, okay, we're doing the other one. So he looked at my other arm and he said, I'm going to try it. Is that okay with you? And I was like, that's the whole reason I'm here. I would very much appreciate you at least giving it a shot if you think you can do it. And he stuck me and he was having a hard time. And I told him, take your time. This part doesn't bother me. It's only the in and out. And I can't look at it in my arm because that gives me the heebie-jeebies. But yeah, I told him, try your best. And he got it. He's the first person who's ever got it. But now I know it can be done, and I gave blood yesterday, so my blood could be sent off to the lab. It has to be tested, of course, for everything, but it could save a life sometime. That'd be crazy. But yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I was very excited to cross that off this week on my bucket list yearly resolutions. And it's only March, so but that being said, I do have a little bit of a wound here. That is what that is. This was last week's, which failed. I don't think it's too bad. I will try to keep it out of shot. I don't know if it's in shot right now, but I'll try to keep it out of shot just in case anyone is queasy about it. But, oh, it's very nice and very cool. My husband is starting his corporate job at the end of the month, which we've kind of been talking about, but he is going to be traveling, and so I gave him the $1,000 emergency card and just said, they'll reimburse you for everything, so whatever you need while you're so far away, just use the card. He's flying out to Washington, to Seattle, so he will be many hours away from me. So I was like, yeah, just use the card if any emergencies pop up. That being said, this is hard to tell, but I think a month before we are a dual income household. So technically he does start his job on the 31st, but I'm sure he'll get paid every 2 weeks. So probably the 14th or whatever that Friday is about where we're looking at. So It's very exciting. He also gets a sign-on bonus, and we'll have to sit down and discuss. It is, as much as I would like to consolidate finances to be us, quote unquote, so like not his money or my money, but us money, that bonus is his money, just because it's a lot of it all at once, and so I do want him to have the majority of say of what's done with that money. In the end, if he tells me, do whatever you want with it, then we will sit down and discuss, you and me, you, the audience, and I will make a video where we sit down and discuss what exactly we want to do and how much it is. We don't know either of those things right now, so I'm not getting too excited about planning it because I don't have a number yet. So anyway, we're gonna sit down and do this week's budget. It is the 14th. Happy Pi Day, everyone. So let's begin. I work a 9-to-5 job. I've also had 2 interviews this week, which is crazy, for positions at my work. I'm a contract, and I've been trying to get hired on full-time for about a year now. And so I believe either of those jobs would come with a pay raise, so we'll see what they think. But as for right now, I'm just working, I'm a compounding chemist. I mix chemicals together, organic carboxyls, and I made $790 this week, or last week rather. I get paid weekly. I make about $2,500–3,000 a month. Is that right? Yeah, about $3,000 a month. Which is why my husband getting a job is going to be crazy for our finances. So, it's going to be very exciting to see what we can do with double the money. But let's get into it, so shall we? I'm so yappy. So we have rent, we have internet, and we have gym. These are our non-variable expenses. These are expenses that are the same. Now, obviously, the internet bill, the rent, and the gym bill, they don't come out weekly. A lot of bills come out monthly, if not yearly. So we break these down. So I have $800 of rent due at the beginning of the month. I will get 4 paychecks during the month, so I need to save $200 per paycheck. This is the same thing we do with the gym membership and the internet. So our internet is $92, I think it's $93. It is $23.25, always over budget, so we're going to round up. Oh, no, I must have done that wrong. It's $91. Oh golly. Always round up. So we put $23 in there. And then the gym is $17, which, oops, man, I keep hitting times instead of divide. So this is an interesting case. So normally I put in $4 and then once a week, because it's 25, once a month I will put in $5. So this week is a $4 a week. Looks like next week is the $5 a week. It doesn't really matter, but that's how I've been doing it. Because if I were to put in $5 every week, I would just be way over budget, and I feel like I could better use that money elsewhere during the time that I have it. Sorry, Sophie, you're shaking the camera there. So then we have our variable expenses. These are expenses we know are coming, but we don't exactly know how much they're going to be. Oh, I should put charity up there. I can do that still. I'll put it down here, I guess. So you go and you get gas. Gas prices change daily, so you're not gonna know how much your gas is. For groceries, we set a budget, so we cannot spend any more than $60. For gas, look at how much gas you pump. I do pump gas weekly, which I know sounds crazy, but I have an hour commute to work every day. And I know that to fill my tank, it's less than $50 most times, so I put $50 in here. Miscellaneous, I used to not have a miscellaneous category, and it bit me in the butt so many times that I said, screw it, we're adding a miscellaneous, so that gets $30. And then charity gets $50. I'm saving up for the Crash Course coin that should be coming out. I think it comes out in May? April? Something like that. But I will keep my ears out for it. I do hear that they sell out very quickly, so I will have to be diligent about when it comes out. I think I messed it up. So for our full expenses for this week, we're just going to add all these numbers together. 50, 30, 50. And it is $417. This is more than half of my paycheck, which is not great, but we are a single income household, so all of these bills that would normally be split in half aren't, right? They all fall on me, so that is just one of the things that has to be done. We're going to skip savings for right now and move to sinking funds. I have 6 or 7. How many sinking funds do I have? 6? Possibly 6 sinking funds. So this includes car maintenance, car insurance, phone bill, pets, gifts, and health. So sinking funds for me are one of two things. They are, I will eventually have to pay a large sum of money, and I would like to save that beforehand. So specifically with car maintenance and pets, the pets at least have a vet visit once every year, which is $400. They also need like bags of food, which cost like $30 when we need them. Car maintenance, anything can go wrong with your car at any time, and you'll have to shell out a couple $100, as well as oil changes, which for me tend to be around $50. And then you have yearly expenses. So these are monthly expenses I break down, but these are yearly expenses. So my car insurance is $660. It's actually a little bit less than that, but they're both around the same amount. I get paid weekly, which is 52 weeks in a year. So that would be 12. We always round up, which is $13, which is why I put $13 a week towards these two. So at the end of the year, we will have the right amount of money. These other ones are much more relaxed because I don't know how much I'm going to need. Some weeks I will need $30 to buy cat food, and other weeks I will not buy anything. So I have looked over the budget, and a comfortable amount for me to put into these categories has been $10. Gifts is for birthdays, Christmas, special events, graduations, weddings, stuff like that. If it was a wedding gift, I'd probably make a different category and save up some money because wedding gifts can be expensive. But on this budget, I've planned for $50 a person for an occasion. So for instance, I think in January, we had a friend's birthday, and he said, don't buy me anything, I just want to go out to dinner with everyone. So we used his part of the gift fund to pay for the dinner we went to. Otherwise, we would have not had money to say we would be able to go. So that's what we do there. At the end of the year, obviously, we'll need a bit more money because of Christmas. Everyone's Christmas gift is also $50. So I think for me, that's like $300. So I should be able to save that up throughout the year. Health is, I'm a health girly, if you didn't know that. So this can be a whole bunch of different things. It can go towards equipment. It can go towards protein powders, supplements, anything like that. It can also do, I was kicked off my mom's health insurance for a little while, so I was using this to pay for medications and stuff, doctor's appointments, things like that. So I don't know if that will unexpectedly happen again, so we are continuing to fund this sinking fund. All the sinking funds cost $66. I happen to know that because I've been doing this a long time. We have no debt. It is one of my great priding accomplishments. Neither me or my husband has ever had any debt. And so we don't have to worry about payments or any of that, which is just such a load off. Okay, so we made $790 this week. we're going to spend $490 on expenses. 419, pardon me. We're going to spend $66 on our sinking funds. We do not have any debt to worry about, which means our savings for this week can be $305. Which is a pretty good savings rate. I have 4 things that I put money into for the savings. One is the buffer in my checking account. Sometimes your internet bill is going to be more. They love to say some deal has ended or something has changed and your internet bill is more, and it's really annoying. Sometimes things might happen, so I always like to keep a buffer in my checking account. For instance, this last week, I forgot that we have a recurring subscription that came out once a year. It was $18, but luckily, because the buffer's in there, that didn't mess up anything. I didn't over-withdraw or anything. I also have like $100 buffer in there, but my husband paid me that back because it's his, but it was one of those things of like, oh, well, good that that money was in there because I was not ready for that to come out. I also have a Roth IRA. One of my big financial goals this year is to fully fund it. I have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund that we are building up. And then we have, the goal for that fund is $10,000. And then we have a separate account for some stocks. Because the Roth IRA is a retirement account, I do not plan to draw any of that money out until retirement age. So if we want some money growing in the stock market we can use, that's what this one is. You can currently put in $7,000 into your Roth IRA every year. I put in weekly, so that's 52 weeks a year. 300, what? Oh, I did times again, man. So 7,000 divided by 52. 134, we always round up, so I put $135 a week into this Roth. The stocks is actually from a raise that I got in October. I got a 3% raise in October, and it came out to be about $35 a week. So that money goes straight into the stocks. So we have $305. We spent $135 on the Roth, $35 on the stocks, which gives us $135. So we now have to decide what we want to do with that. We can either put a whole $135 in here and have no buffer, which I do not prefer to do, or we could split it up. I do prefer stuff to be in increments of 10, and I don't really like the buffer being $5. That's kind of high for me, but that is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, I think the math is mathin'. We'll see at the end there if the math is mathin'. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this $5 and make this $135. So we had $790 come in, $419 for expenses, $305 for savings, and then $66 for our sinking funds, which gives us a zero-based budget. I'm a zero-based budgeter. Because money loves to just float away into the ether, to fly away when it is not told where to go. So I always tell every single penny, well, technically no pennies are used here. These are all whole dollars. I tell every single dollar where to go. That way they're less likely to just fly away into the ether. Thank you all so much for coming here today. Again, I do apologize about being absent this week with the internet outage. Please forgive me. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Pi Day Friday, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone.